Hi folks, this is Cho Toshio from Smogon. I'd probably like to say I'm getting back into this videoing scheme. I'd love to thank Siberia for helping me figure out how to get these high quality videos up. And I'd like to welcome you all to my first recorded video with commentary. Well, I'd like to say that, but really this is one rant about why Salamence is not Uber. Well, no, I'll give you commentary just the same. So I send up my Tyranitar at the start. Now this is a lead Tyranitar that I'm using as kind of a weird suicide lead that both gets up rocks with high speed and puts up sand. Now I'm not really afraid of it being asleep because, as I said, it's kind of a suicide lead. Like if Tyranitar comes in and pursues something later on after getting rocks up, or pursues something first and gets rocks up later, it's all good. Well, I'm sending my Suicune to take on the Melodic. You guys probably have all heard me rant about him before, but Bulky Waters are some of the best Pokemon in the game. I mean, if you don't have a water type on your team, I don't know what you're doing. But Melodic is a great Pokemon too. It's just that, well, Starmie, Suicune, and Vaporeon, well, that combination does its job better, pretty much. Anyway, well, Suicune's out, forced out by my Suicune. And just to demonstrate the power of water type on offensive and defensive, I mean, this Suicune has 0 HP, 0 defensive ebbing. This is that timid offensive set from Smogon. But I still know that this Surf, even coming from Suicune's low base special attack, is going to hurt like a bitch. Wow, that close combat, 120 base close combat with stab coming from Gallade's monstrous attack is not going to kill Suicune. Electric and grass are ridiculously hard weaknesses to take advantage of, and water Pokemon are just bulky and awesome like that. So Suicune is going to be laughing in Gallade's face. Bye, Gallade. But I mean, this is pretty much the same thing Suicune would be doing to most regular OU offensive Pokemon. Bulky waters are just awesome like that, broken like that. Yeah, if there weren't so many of them, if there was just one, then I think it would be top, like maybe at the top of the whole ladder. Okay, and here comes a Yanmega. I'm kind of guessing that this thing will get arrogant and think it's faster than me. Haha. Yanmegas that don't have full speed, that get killed by timid Suicune. Good times on Wi-Fi. Anyway, we'll see what he has coming up next. Oh, it's a Metagross. Now, I love seeing Metagross because, well, Skarmory walls it to all hell, and I love to get spikes up. And Metagross loves to switch in on my Tyranitar. So whether it's that lead Metagross or some Metagross switching into Tyranitar, I'll often be using Skarmory to screw it over and get spikes up. Oh, it's brilliant. And it's not just Metagross, there's so many other Pokemon that kill Tyranitar that Skarmory walls. I swear, Skarmtar is the new Skarm Bliss, but better, because it has Tyranitar, and not Blissey. Anyway, I'm bringing back in Skarmory, and gonna get up my spikes. This might take a while. Well, and you think about it, T-Tar also supports Skarm really well by being able to switch into things like Jolteon and Raikou. Well, your generic speedy special attacker, and pursuit them or earthquake them to death. And so they work really well together. It's really quite amazing. Except when Machamp appears, but we'll not go into that for now. Freaking Machamp. We should test Machamp next. And Jirachi, and other Pokemon that hacks people and are not fun to play around. Yeah. So I'm getting out my spikes. I'm not gonna go for the third lair just because he might have a spinner. So I'm gonna Whirlwind out and hold it. Here he is, folks. The man with all eyes on big bad Salamence. Right now in the mix that 50% trans crux that has the whole pro Uber side moaning and groaning. Get it wrong and Skarm dies. Oh no! Let's take a step back and look at the real situation. Skarm has spent the last few turns walling the hell out of Metagross and getting out 2 great layers of spikes. The next time Metagross comes out, it will be joining the big metal scrap heap in the sky. In the big picture, I really don't need Skarmory anymore. He's done his job. In this situation, there are two possible outcomes if I leave it in. Salamence dances or uses something not called Fire Blast, and Skarm blows it out, screwing Ment and its teammates over even more. Or Skarm gets blasted, and then I bring in Infernape to rape face. Either way, the momentum is clearly on my side, as I lose the Skarmory that I don't need. Anyway, Salamence is getting screwed. This is the power of having a plan that you execute while planning to lose teammates. The enemy is trying to kill you. Things are going to get fucked up. Any number of offensive or defensive threats or some set you just didn't know about could come over and screw over a given team or Pokemon. That's why you have a plan, execute, but build the plan knowing that things will get fucked up. There will be losses. Whether it be the suicide lead T-Tar I sent out at the start, Skarm after he gets some spikes, or Infernape blasting for broke once it's in mid-game. I always have a Pokemon who I'm not afraid to gamble with, and I play with some balls. Whether it's T-Tar, Skarm, Infernape, Suicune, Rotom, Flygon, or any other OU Pokemon that's not on this team, nothing is walled by Ments, so everything can be used as fodder to screw over Ments. Let me also note that in this game, Salamence has not only come out in mid-game, but he was dragged out, so I have no clue as to whether this is Mixed Ments or DD Ments. Point is, doesn't matter. Two sets are similar enough that either one gets screwed by my plan, since I'm not trying to counter it. Whether he Meteors or DD's up, he's screwed. Now back to the game. Or should I say back to Stealth Rock and Sand. But seeing as Tyranitar is one of Salamence's most common teammates, and Salamence needs Sand to kill some enemy walls like Vaporeon, Sand is something Salamence will just have to deal with. Anyway, there's the DD, so no Fire Blast coming my way, and I'm going to go screw Salamence over some more. Yeah, I mean, if you want to talk about Pokemon, okay, goodbye Metagross. If you want to talk about Pokemon that had no good switch-ins, let's talk about Skarmory. Spikes, Whirlwind, what are you going to switch into that? It's done its job already by the time you're in. Like, Wish, moves like that, U-turn. Oh, speaking of Pokemon that it's not easy to switch into, another powerful mixed attacker here in Honchkrow, but guess what? I'm treating this bugger the same way I treat Salamence, or any other powerful offensive threat. Like, you just have to take some gambles, or hedge your bets, you know? I really don't mind losing Skarmory here. And Infernape is going to finish this game off in a beautiful, beautiful fashion. This is my first time trying out the physical Mixnape, and I have to say I'm impressed in a lot of ways. And if we want to talk about, the pro Uber side complains that Mixed Ments can try to break walls again later on. But guess what? Like, Infernape has so much more opportunity for that, or any other Mixed Sweeper who doesn't have a Stealth Rock weakness. I mean, you really don't realize how much it hampers your opportunities, your consistency. Infernape is much more consistent even if it doesn't have the same great coverage. Yeah, I have to say that physical Mixnape impresses me by killing Melodic there. Now we all know who's coming out at the end, and we all know that he's not going to do any good. At 40% health, I can even go with close combat. I don't need to risk Stone Edge. This game is over, and Salamence accomplished nothing. Salamence is a great Pokemon for speeding up the game itself, or because it causes deaths on both sides. But you know what? It's not the Pokemon that nets you advantage. It's just a random 1-for-1 in the middle of the game if the enemy is smart enough. So, if you want a setup sweeper who will take down enemy after enemy, you'll get much more consistent results by setting up something like Empoleon, Lucario, or Metagross. And if you want a mixed sweeper who will consistently break walls open, or have opportunities to net you advantage while breaking walls, pick up something like Infernape that doesn't have a Stealth Rock weakness. In any case, Salamence is good, but nothing that is too good for OU. Rate, sub, comment. Hope you enjoyed, and thank you again to my opponent for being a good sport and letting me videotape this. Abayo!